game. Blue Alliance leads by 8 points. On the Blue Alliance, we have Team 7617 trying to put some fuel in during the interim period before we go to the first Red Alliance shift. Now we have the Red Alliance active. Blue Alliance cannot score for the next 25 seconds. It's up to Red. The Tech Pups are quick to unload their hopper. We see some stiff defense coming from the Robo Blazers on the Tech Pups. Meanwhile, Hatchet is sitting in the trench, using that as some stabilization as they fire into their hub. The Tech Pups are still encountering some pretty stiff defense, but they are making some fun as their phase comes to an end. And the Blue Alliance hub is now active. The Fearsome Gears and Team Roboto are getting ready to score. The Red Alliance made about a 50-point lead in that period, so they've got some work to do. But we've got all three Blue Bots getting ready to score. They've got some time to make up that difference. Over on Red, we see Tech Pups getting ready for their next cycle, which will begin in about 2 seconds. Tech Pups and Hatchet Robotics are scoring as the Robotics goes to start playing defense on Hatchet. Tech Pups are filling up their hopper yet again to put another load in. We see some counter defense coming from the Thunderbots as they are trying to keep the Roboblazers out of the Red Alliance zone. This is an interesting strategy we see to allow the Red Alliance to score during their period and have a defense bot on the Red Alliance be operational. It is now the last blue shift before endgame. Red Alliance leads 142-38. We see the Roboblazers pushing some fuel to their human players to allow them to score during this last period. The Red Alliance has already made the Energized RP. We see the Tech Pups waiting to score alongside their Alliance partner Hatchet. And that whistle means endgame. Both hubs are active and teams may climb for some extra points and a possible ranking point. We've got 2 of our red bots and 3 of our red bots scoring. Over on blue, Team Roboto getting ready for a climb. That'll be worth 10 points if they can be up in the air when the timer hits 0. We have Fearsome Gears unloading their hopper. Over on red, we've just crossed 200 points with 5 seconds left. Tech Pups and Hatchet working to increase that lead some more as this match comes to an end. Let's go ahead and see your scores. And your winner is the Red Alliance with a score of 246 to Blues 82. Red Alliance will take home 4 ranking points, 3 for the win and 1 for that Energized RP.
Let's meet our teams for qualification match. Next up, starting off on the Red Alliance, it's Team 1720.
From Matthews, Indiana, it's the Fixed Gears.
They're celebrating 20 years of Gears. Meeting our friends on the center of the Red Alliance, it's Team 3940.
From Kokomo, Indiana, it's Cybertooth.
And our third team on this alliance, it's Team 6498.
Currently your number one ranked robot with the robot The King, it's Castle Robotics.
Ready to head downriver, meeting them on the Blue Alliance, it's Team 9491.
With their robot Zip, it's Crypto Creek.
Joining them on the Blue Alliance, it's Team 4485.
With their robot Nessie, it's Tribe Tech Robotics.
And our third team on the Blue Alliance, it's Team 5188.
Currently ranked third, it's Area 5188 Classified Robotics.
Drivers behind the line, this match begins in 3, 2, 1, rebuild.
We see 3 blue bots firing, 1 red bot firing, and 2 red bots going into the center. 3940 is the first to cross the bump and start firing into their goal. And they're being joined by Castle Robotics on red. We may have our event high score of autonomous in this period. Red Alliance leads 48-22. Now they're in driver control. Red Alliance has 10 seconds to score before the Blue Alliance gets their first shift. See Castle and Cybertooth making quick work of that, putting loads of fuel in. Now it's the Blue Alliance's turn, and we see 1720 shuttling fuel across the field. 9491 getting ready to score some fuel into their hub. We have all 3 blue bots ready to score. A hailstorm of fuel is going into their hub, and they're quickly taking the lead back from the Red Alliance. But now it's Red Alliance's turn, and we see even more fuel from these 3 powerhouse teams on the Red Alliance. All 3 bots have finished unloading their hoppers once. They're going for a second time. These 3 bots are fixed launchers. So they have very high throughput, but their accuracy suffers as they cannot aim their launcher. 1720 using their enormous drum spinner to launch fuel into the goal. We're now in the Blue Alliance shift. The Red Alliance leads 149-70. Red Alliance has made the 100 fuel threshold for that energized RP. The Blue Alliance is not far behind into the final minute of this match. Red Alliance is prepped and ready. Cybertooth is pre-firing the goal to get more fuel in. They're joined by 1720 and Castle Robotics. Red Alliance is at 235 points. The Blue Alliance is 106. An absolute hailstorm of fuel is going into the red hub. On blue, we see 5188 firing fuel into their side to score for later. As now entered endgame, they can score in their goal too. We see all 3 blue bots getting ready to score, trying to make that gap up. Both alliances have now made the 100 fuel energized ranking point. Over on red, we have 1720 and 6498 getting ready to score again. 3940 going to join them. They've got 10 seconds to score a few more points. All 3 alliance bots unloading their hoppers into the goal with 5 seconds left. Over on blue, we have the same, and we'll have scores out shortly for that exciting match. We've got your scores for what might be an event high score. Your winner is the Red Alliance with a new event high score of 332 to 139. The Red Alliance takes home 4 ranking points, 1 for Energized and 3 for the win, while the Blue Alliance takes home 1 for the Energized ranking point. We'll be back shortly with qualification match number 24 here at the Washington District event presented by Toyota Indiana and Vincennes University.
Let's meet our teams for qualification match 24. Starting off on the Red Alliance, we've got them. It's Team 5484.
Currently your number 2 ranked team, it's the Wolfpack.
Joining them on the Red Alliance, it's Team 9790.
With their robot Groob, it's Crypto Creek 2.
And wrapping up our third team on the Red Alliance, it's Team 2197.
Driving the robot Forklift, it's Las Pumas.
Making our way past the 400 fuel available in the center of the field, let's meet our teams on the Blue Alliance. Starting off with this team here, it's Team 8742.
With their robot Orville, it's Argyle Attack.
Joining them on the Blue Alliance, it's Team 9453.
From the Mount Vernon Senior High School, it's the Mount Vernon Wildcat.
And wrapping up our friends in this match, it's Team 234.
Coming from Perry Meridian High School, it's Cyber Blue.
Drivers behind the line, let's get this match underway in 3, 2, 1, rebuild.
We've got 2 Wolfpack in the center of the field. That's Cyber Blue and Las Pumas. Las Pumas taking an interesting strategy during the autonomous period. They're firing fuel back to their alliance zone and firing to their hub to store some fuel for later, as well as gets them some fuel in right now to win the autonomous period. And coming out of the autonomous period, we have a very close match. 1 point separates our alliances. The Blue Alliance will get the second shift as they had 18 fuel to Blue's 17, or Red 17. 234 was stuck on some fuel, but they have gotten themselves off, fortunately. It's now the Red Alliance's turn to score. We see Las Pumas making their way back to their side of the field. And they're getting ready to score alongside Crypto Creek 2. They're down 1 point, so they're trying to make a slight lead as they go into the first Blue Alliance shift. Crypto Creek 2 firing a few fuel in, giving them the lead as their shift comes to an end. It is now the Blue Alliance shift, and 234 knows it. They're putting a floodgate of fuel into their hub alongside Argyle Attack Team 8742. We see that 9453 is pushing fuel into the Blue Alliance side to give them some more to play with in this blue shift. Team 234 unfortunately firing a little bit too far as their shift ends. They now lead the Red Alliance by 11 points. We see human players on red trying to make some shots in. 2197 having some issues with their intake, giving their human players some fuel so they can throw some fuel as well. These shots with the human players might actually begin up making the difference as they are putting loads of fuel in. The human players on the Red Alliance managed to make the lead only 3 points for the Blue Alliance. We see 234 Cyber Blue unloading their hopper into the goal. The Blue Alliance now leads by about 30 points. Blue Alliance needs 21 more fuel to get that energized RP. Argyle Attack and 234 are determined to get it. 234 unloading their hopper yet again, giving them that energized RP and a 60-point lead as we enter the endgame period. We have human players from red making shots from far, Cyber Blue and Argyle Attack making shots from close on their hub. Teams have 20 seconds left to score into their hubs or climb for some extra points at the end of the game. On the Red Alliance side, we see Crypto Creek 2 getting ready to climb. And if they manage to stay off the ground as we end the match, they will get an additional 10 points for their alliance. And this match will end. And without further ado, let's see those scores. Your winner will be the Blue Alliance with a score of 136-62. The Blue Alliance walks home with 5 ranking points. This puts 234 Cyber Blue up to 2nd and Argyle Attack up to 7th.
Let's meet the teams that will join us for qualification match 25. Starting off here, it's team 9554.
From South Bend, Indiana, it's the Portage Pythons.
Joining them in the center of the Red Alliance is team 868.
Here to inspire, engage, and invent, it's the Tech Hound.
And wrapping up our friends on this side of the field of fuel, it's team 3559.
From Jasper High School, it's the Thundercats.
Making our way around our army of field resetters and now over to the Blue Alliance. Let's meet the teams there competing against the Red Alliance. Starting off with team 10029.
From Portage High School in Portage, Indiana, it's the Prototype.
Joining them on the Blue Alliance, one of my favorite flags, it's team 1747.
Currently ranked 10th, it's Harrison Boiler Robotics.
And wrapping up our friends competing in this match far from home, not far from home, it's team 8430.
With their robot shovel, it's the Hatch Batch.
Dryers behind the line. This match begins in 3, 2, 1. Rebuild.
As we start this match, we see 868 going to the center line to gather some more fuel. 3 blue line spots are firing. Human players on both sides going. 868 unfortunately gets beached on their bump, so their fuel is not going in. Blue Alliance is leading 14 to Red's 3. Human players are starting to make the difference as the Blue Alliance is draining so many shots with their human players. Blue Alliance will enter driver controlled with a lead of 13 points. That means that Red Alliance will have the first shift to make up that difference. We see that the Thundercats are beached on their bump as well. Techhound's firing a little bit too far. Techhounds unbeach the Thundercats, but push them on some fuel. Although they do eventually get free as the Techhounds begin to fire into their goal. Over on blue, we have the Hatch Batch feeding their human players for the next Blue Line shift, which will begin here in a few seconds. Harrison Boiler Box is getting ready to fire as well. And the Blue Line shift is now active. Harrison Boiler firing from shots from up close. Human players firing a few shots, but now they're out of fuel as well. We see some defense from the Portage Pythons on Harrison Boiler Robotics. Harrison Boiler scoring a few fuel here and there, getting the Blue Lines to have a lead of 15 points. Blue Lines phase is about to end. Hatchbatch and Harrison Boiler scoring a few more. Techhound starting to drain some shots into their hub. They're currently down by about 20 points. They got some ground to cover in this next shift. The Blue Alliance will get the final shift in this match, so Red Alliance wants to get a good lead going out of this phase. Techhounds are firing on the move with the use of their turret. This means they can gather fuel as they fire, keeping them more active during the period. The Blue Alliance shift has begun. The Red Alliance made a 32-point lead. The Blue Alliance will have to try and outpace them before the endgame period. We have 868 almost flipping the Portage Pythons, but freeing them from the bump as well, so they can play some more defense on the Blue Alliance. 868 is using their turret launcher to fire fuel back into their zone, to allow them to score more later as they've stored it for the endgame period. Speaking of endgame, there's that whistle. Teams may now score in their hubs or climb for some extra points. 868 is trying to increase their lead. They need about 19 more fuel for that ranking point. The Thundercats getting ready to score as well. The Red Alliance needs 8 more fuel and they'll have the ranking point. Blue Alliance trying to score some more as well to try and get a lead on the Red Alliance as we enter the last 10 seconds of the match. With a few more shots from 868, the Red Alliance has almost made that energized RP. And with the second 4 seconds left, they may have made it. Let's go ahead and see your scores. And your winner will be the Red Alliance, with a score of 104 to 77. The Red Alliance takes home 4 ranking points, 3 for the win, and 1 for scoring more than 100 fuel. Alrighty, Robot, let's start meeting our teams for this match. Starting out your Red Alliance, we have Team 5188.
Currently your 5th ranked team from Terre Haute, Indiana. It's Area 5188 Classified Robotics.
And in the middle of the station, ready to bear their fangs, it's Team 3940.
With students from Northwestern High School, it's Cybertooth.
And last but certainly not least, they're out of this world. It's Team 4926.
That's Galactech. Proudly supported by Cummins Analytical Engineering, the Rumsey family, Spot On Warehousing, and Columbus Visitor Center.
And it's time to dig into our Blue Alliance. Starting off, we have Team 447.
Presenting their robot Theseus, it's Team Roboto.
And in your middle station, one of our host teams, we have Team 8116.
Currently your 3rd ranked team, all the way from Washington, it's Hatchet Robotics.
And last but not least, with 20 years of gears, it's Team 1720.
Presenting their robot Nomad, it's Fixed Gears. Proudly supported by Progress Rails, Allison Transmission, Near Space Launch, Found Nest Tech Services, and EI Wi-Fi.
We've got our thumbs up from the field, so let's start this match. Drivers behind the lines in 3, 2, 1, rebuild.
Rebuild starts with a 20-second autonomous period. These robots are moving around pre-programmed and trying to gather up as many of those fuel and score them into their hubs as possible. There's a slight advantage for the Alliance that scores the most during this autonomous time. Red Alliance putting up a good effort. Blue Alliance able to match them so far, neck and neck for most of this autonomous time period. Blue Alliance just shy of the Red Alliance, which will probably get that advantage. Next 22 minutes and 20 seconds is all teleoperated as human players have picked up their controllers and driving the robots that their team built this season. The first 10 seconds here we witnessed was that transition period where both of those hubs were active. We heard that power-up sound, and now just the Blue Alliance hub is active. During this time, the Red Alliance is playing a little bit of Hungry Hungry Hippo, trying to pick up that fuel that's available to them in the neutral zone and pile it up in the Alliance side to make sure they're ready for when their hub is active. Blue Alliance with their current active hub, scoring those yellow spheres known as fuel to get points for their Alliance. Currently boasting 112 points, well surpassing that 100 requirement for the Energized ranking point threshold. Red Alliance now getting their opportunity to score points, blowing past where they were and surpassing the Blue Alliance score of 125. Red Alliance still has 12 seconds with their active hub to make that point difference even larger, presenting them as the potential victors for this match. Blue Alliance well stocked up with their coppers, ready to launch a volley of fuel. That's coming from 1720 Fixed Gears, 447 Team Roboto, and also joining them, one of our lovely Ho teams, 8116 Hatchet Robotics, continuing to apply that point pressure onto their opponents. Cybertooth 3940 making use of a shuttling mechanism where they're picking up that fuel and launching it towards their Alliance station, hoping to pick that up for a later time and deliver it into their hub once it's active. Red Alliance getting that active hub. A couple of those game pieces scored from their human player behind the outpost. Teams have to push that fuel underneath the outpost slot and pass it over to their human players, giving them an opportunity to score as well. Again, it doesn't matter who scores those points, but it's 1 point per fuel in an active hub. Nearing the end game period, we'll hear that steam whistle, which means that there's 30 seconds remaining, and both those hubs have become reactivated. Score is currently 213 to 200, a well-scoring match on both of these Alliance side. Blue Alliance eyeing up that 360 ranking point requirement for Supercharged, but there's only 15 seconds remaining in this match. Red Alliance continuing to apply some of that point pressure, potentially considering a climb for some additional points, but there's only 5 seconds in match, counting them down in 3, 2, 1. That's the end of qualification match 26. Stick tight to see how those scores total up. And we're ready to see those scores from qualification match 26. Your winners are the Blue Alliance. These teams were neck and neck, with Blue Alliance taking with 260 over Red Alliance's 214. Big differentiator, of course, to tele-operated fuel. Both of these teams getting that energized ranking point for scoring more than 100 of said fuel. But the Blue Alliance getting those extra 3 ranking points for winning the match. Stick tight for qualification match 27 here at the FIN District event in Washington, presented by Vincennes University Center for Applied Robotics and Automation and Toyota, Indiana.
Alrighty, we are ready to meet our teams for this qualification match. Starting off your Red Alliance, have team 7198.
Presenting their robot Squiddly Diddly, it's TL Fearsome Gears.
And a team with horrible color for the Red Alliance, it's team 234.
Currently your second ranked team from Indianapolis, it's Cyber Blue.
And last but not least, we have team 9790.
From Silver Creek High School in Sellersburg, it's Crypto Creek 2. Proudly presented by Zip Heating and Cooling, Indy's Chicken, Charlie Mannix, IBEW Local 369, and Sellersburg Metals.
And on the Blue Alliance, their pit is probably a castle. It's team 6498.
With students from Castle High School in Newburgh, your #1 ranked team at this moment, Castle Robotics.
And up next, bringing the strength of the pack with them, it's team 5484.
They're here to change lives and build robots. It's the Wolf Pack.
And last but not least, they're good friends with one of the teams on the Red Alliance. It's Team 9491.
Hailing from Sellersburg, Indiana, it's Crypto Creek. They're proudly supported by Zip Heating and Cooling, Indy's Chicken, Charlie Mannix, IBEW Local 369, and Sellersburg Metals. We've got one final roundtable available for the festivities this weekend. It's at 5:30, and that's the Inclusivity and Leadership Roundtable, I believe, at 5:30. That roundtable, again, is down by the cafeteria and available for all friends, families, students, mentors, and parents to attend. That's the Inclusion and Student Leadership Roundtable tonight at 5:30 p.m., just an hour away. So make sure you're planning that and considering that roundtable at 5:30. A great reminder to stay hydrated at this weekend's event. We want to make sure that you don't faint or fall, that you're staying hydrated above it all.
All right, party people, we are ready for this match. So drivers behind the lines in 3, 2, 1, rebuild.
Rebuild starts with a 20-second autonomous period. These robots are pre-programmed, trying to launch as much fuel as possible into those hubs. Both of those hubs are active during the autonomous time period, and teams are trying to get an advantage here into teleops. These teams continue to score. Blue Alliance looks like they're going to end up with that advantage. Only 4 seconds remaining in the autonomous period, and that's all we got, so we'll move into the teleoperated. Robots are teleoperated now. The final 2 minutes and 20 seconds is all human-controlled. Players have picked up their controllers and driving the robots that their team built this season. Red Alliance robots making their way into the center part of the field. They'll get that first Alliance shift with their hubs, so they're trying to pick up as much fuel as possible and take it back to their area. 234 perched up on some of those fuel. Having a little bit of difficulty navigating that. That's the difficulty with a lot of these teams. Having a swerve drive, they have to be careful they don't tip as they make their way over those bumps. Red Alliance with that current active hub trying to deliver some of that fuel, trying to get some points for their Alliance teammates. Heading back now over to the Blue Alliance with their active hub. They're getting an opportunity to match up against the Red Alliance. Only one fuel distinguishes these two teams. Blue Alliance quickly surpassing them and making their way towards that energized ranking point threshold, which requires 100 fuel. 54-84 Wolfpack over here on the Blue Alliance side of the field, able to pick up some of that fuel off the ground. Lots of teams leveraging a ground intake mechanism, allowing them to store fuel physically in the field and not within their hoppers. Red Alliance getting that active hub again, 234 Cyber Blue, delivering a good volume of that 94-91 Crypto Creek, applying some of that bumper-on-bumper action, allowing them to cause some chaos and prevent their opponents from scoring as many points as they once had thought. 64-98 Castle Robotics in the center part of the field, making their way now to their Blue Alliance station, all full up with fuel and ready to deliver it as the Blue Alliance hub becomes active. This is the final opportunity for a single hub to be active before we enter that end game period where they both reactivate. Scores currently 92-82 in favor of your Blue Alliance. Blue Alliance with their current active hub, trying to push up that point difference even more to make it harder for their opponents to overcome that point differential. Here at 30 seconds, we'll hear that steam whistle letting us know we've entered the end game period, the final 30 seconds of the match. Both those hubs are now reactivated. 234 trying to add some of that points to their point total, but receiving some of that defense from Crypto Creek 94-91. Blue Alliance continuing to score strongly against those points, pushing up their scores to 120, just 4 points greater than Red Alliance's. 10 seconds left. The points will be decided here based on that fuel. 97-90, trying to get elevated off the ground potentially for some climbs, but they're not able to get elevated. We'll see how these points total out. And your scores are ready for qualification 27. Only a few points distinguishing these teams. Your winners, the Blue Alliance. Blue Alliance taking with 190-131. 9 points distinguishing these two alliances. Both alliances walking away with one of those ranking points for Energized. Blue Alliance getting an additional 3 for winning the match. 64-98, maintaining their number 1 ranked position. Stick tight for qualification match 28 here at the FIN District event in Washington, presented by Toyota Indiana and Vincennes University Center for Applied Robotics and Automation.
Let's go ahead and meet our teams for the next qualification match. Start off, it's team 868.
Hailing from Carmel, Indiana, it's the Tech Hounds.
And joining them, a team they're very familiar with, it's team 761.
Their sibling team from Carmel High School, it's the Tech Pups.
And finally, from right here in Washington, Indiana, we have team 8430.
Hailing all the way from Washington, it's the Hatch Batch. They're proudly supported by Indiana Toyota, Department of Defense STEM, and First Indiana.
And to start off our Blue Alliance, we have team 10029.
With students from Portage High School, it's the Prototypes.
And they're here to sail the FRCs. It's team 2197.
Bringing their robot forklift to the field, it's Las Pumas.
And last but not least, they're here to show their fangs. It's team 9554.
That's the Portage Pythons. They're proudly supported by T-Slot, by Bono Aluminum, NASA, BAE Systems, Argosy Foundation, and Goldstone Automotive.
All right, robot fans, we've got our thumbs up. So drivers behind the lines in 3, 2, 1, rebuild.
Robots move around pre-programmed during the 20-second autonomous period. 2197 instigating a shuttling mechanism, trying to toss those fuel over to their side of the Alliance. Red Alliance, 2 of the robots heading into the neutral zone, but both of those getting stuck on the transition into the bump. A lot of teams having difficulty with that, especially with their swerve drive mechanisms. Scores 23-16 in favor of your Blue Alliance, which means Blue Alliance will get that advantage during the teleoperated period. The remainder 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Human players have picked up their controllers and driving the robots that their team built. We had a brief transition period where both those hubs were active. Now it's just the Red Alliance for the next 25 seconds. 761, the Tech Pups, along with their sibling team 868, the Tech Hounds, trying to get as many of those fuel into their hub as possible while their alliance is activated. Also on the Red Alliance is 8430, the Hatch Batch. Their robot's name is Shovel, and they're from here in Washington. Red Alliance losing their active hub, now heading over to the Blue Alliance. 2197's Blue Alliance team, Las Pumas, ready to launch a couple of those fuel into their hub. Each of those yellow spheres worth 1 point for their alliance when that hub is active. 95-54 Portage Pythons causing some havoc on their opponents, applying some of that bumper-on-bumper defensive action, trying to knock off their opponents and prevent them from scoring as many points as they thought possible. The Tech Hounds and the Tech Pups now trying to release that fuel into their hub. Now able to pick up some of that fuel they stored away earlier in the match to their advantage. Red Alliance already surpassing that 100 fuel requirement for Energize and potentially sizing up the supercharged 360. Blue Alliance during this time of hub inactivity playing a little bit of Hungry Hippo, picking up that fuel, and now that their hub is active, scoring it themselves. 94-30 sneakily stealing some of that fuel, trying to push it to their alliance partners. 868 employing that shuttling mechanism, allowing them to launch well across far half of the field and storing it up for when their hub becomes active in the end game period, which starts in a few moments with that steam whistle sound. Last 30 seconds, both those hubs have reactivated. Some teams will consider climbing on those towers, those vertical monkey bars. 10, 20, 30 points available. The higher they climb, the more points they'll find. But many teams continue to score points for their alliance, leveraging the fuel, which are those yellow spheres. Final 15 seconds here, score 67-202 in favor of your Red Alliance. Red Alliance continuing to apply that point pressure well here into the end of the match, which ends in 3, 2, 1. And that's all we had for qualification match 28. Stick tight to see how those scores total up. And your scores are ready. Lickety split. Your winners for that last match were the Red Alliance. Red Alliance taking it with a score of 248 to Blue Alliance's 67. Red Alliance getting 4 of those ranking points, 1 for crossing the energized ranking point threshold, and 3 for winning the match. All of the other teams rising in the rankings. 761 Tech Pups maintaining their 9th ranked position. Stick tight for qualification match 29 here at the Washington event presented by Vincennes University Center for Applied Robotics and Automation in Toyota, Indiana. Got that last round table in 10 minutes from now. If you're interested in learning more about inclusion and student leadership on your team, that round table is at 5:30, about 9 minutes away now. That's out in a round table room down by the cafeteria. Again, that's open to friends, family, students, mentors, parents, siblings, and children. Inclusion and leadership. Come learn more about it at a round table at 5:30.
And without further ado, let's get ready to start meeting our teams for this next match. Ready to be scanned in a produce section, it's Team 4485.
Presenting their robot Nessie, it's TriTech Robotics.
And in your middle alliance station, blazing a path to victory, it's Team 7617.
With students from University High School in Indiana, it's Robo Blazers.
And last but not least, they bring the popcorn. It's Team 8742.
Currently your 7th ranked team, it's Argyle Attack. They're proudly sponsored by R&R Engineering.
And starting off your Blue Alliance, they're ready to fly ahead of the competition. It's Team 7657.
Hailing from Evansville, Indiana, it's the Thunderbots.
And in your middle alliance station, ready to sink their claws into their opponents, it's Team 3559.
Hailing from Jasper, Indiana, it's the Thundercats.
And last but not least, with the coolest flag I've seen today, it's Team 1747.
Students from William Henry Harrison High School, it's Harrison Boiler Robotics. Proudly supported by Caterpillar, McAllister Foundation, InMac, Radeon, and Titmont.
We've got our thumbs up from the field. So drivers behind the lines in 3, 2, 1, rebuild.
Robots are currently moving around the field in a pre-programmed manner, making use of those April tags, those QR code looking things for positioning and reverse kinematic equations. Teams looking to get a ranking point advantage coming out of this autonomous period with a couple more points available to them. 76-17, the Robo Blazers from Carmel making their way into the neutral zone for a second dip of points. Red Alliance taking that advantage. First 10 seconds here in the tele-operated phase. Both of those hubs are temporarily active as we transition into tele-operated mode. The remainder 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Robots are driven by their human players, which their team has built this past season. Blue Alliance with their hub currently active, trying to pick up some of that fuel. One of those teams launching some of that towards the scoring table. Blue Alliance applying some of that bumper-on-bumper pressure here in the center part of the field, making use of their hub's activity to score some points for their alliance. Red Alliance now having their own active hub time, 76-57, trying to slide around, potentially getting perched on some of that fuel, but ultimately trying to cause some of that defensive pressure, causing some chaos in the Red Alliance zone. Blue Alliance during this time of inactivity trying to stock up their outpost, filling up their human player station with lots of fuel available for when their hub is active. Those human players able to score, maybe not quite precisely as their robotic counterparts. Red Alliance with a score of 56, currently sitting on top of a 35-point lead advantage, trying to maintain that by applying some pressure to their Blue Alliance opponents, trying to stock up on that fuel and starve them from their ability to create points. Red Alliance now getting their active hub once more. This is the final opportunity for just a single hub to be active. Red Alliance trying to maintain their points lead by scoring more of those fuel, each of those worth 1 point for its alliance. Teams continuing to pick up that fuel and deliver it around the field of play. 76-57 Thunderbots applying some of that defensive pressure, trying to cause chaos in their opponent's area and prevent them from scoring points. Final 30 seconds, we heard that steam whistle. Both those hubs now reactivated. Teams trying to score final points for their opportunity. Blue Alliance trying to tighten up that gap. Red Alliance trying to maintain their point lead. Final 15 seconds here. Some teams might consider climbing, but many of them continue to apply the pressure points available to them in the fuel. Final 5 seconds here, counting them out in 3, 2, 1. And that's all the time we had for qualification match 29. Stick tight to see how those scores total up. And our scores are ready for that last qualification match. The winners of it is the Red Alliance. Red Alliance taking it away with a score of 120 over Blue Alliance's 57. Red Alliance can get 4 ranking points for their efforts in that last match. 3, of course, for winning the match, and 1 for that Enterprise ranking point threshold of 100 fuel, allowing all 3 of the Red Robots to rise in the ranks. Stick tight for qualification match 30 here at the FIN District event in Washington, presented by Toyota Indiana and Vincennes University Center for Applied Robotics and Automation.
All right, Robot fans, let's go ahead and meet our teams for qualification match number 30. Starting off your Red Alliance, we have Team 9453.
With students from Mount Vernon Senior High School, it's the Mount Vernon Wildcats.
And joining them with the robot drop shot, we have Team 4926.
With students from Columbus North and Columbus East High Schools, it's Galactech.
And rounding out your Red Alliance here to show their fangs, it's Team 5484.
Currently your third ranked team, it's the Wolfpack. They're proudly supported by Grand Design Recreational Vehicles, Grotoni Smith Family Foundation, and Career Academy.
And starting off your Blue Alliance, we have Team 447.
A family community team from Anderson, Indiana, it's Team Roboto.
And on your Middle Line station, here to strike fear into their enemies with their lovely googly eyes, it's Team 7198.
Hailing from Monticello, Indiana, it's TL Fearsome Gears.
And last but not least, the mix of Red and Blue Alliance, it's Team 3940.
Currently your 8th ranked team with students from Northwestern High School, it's Cybertooth. They're proudly supported by Andy Mark, Active, Swerve Drive Specialties, and the letter B.
All right, party people, we've got our thumbs up from the field, so drivers behind the lines in 3, 2, 1, rebuild.
Robots move around autonomously or pre-programmed for the first 20 seconds of every rebuild match. 4 of our 6 robots venturing their way into the neutral zone, trying to pick up more fuel than they pre-started with. Cybertooth 9430, a large volume of fuel from them. Red Alliance, though, still getting lots of support from their human players, and 4926 Galactech. 3940 attempting to go back into neutral zone, stuck a little bit there on that bump. 58-42 in favor of your Blue Alliance. Pretty close in point parity so far between these two alliances. Ultimately, though, Blue Alliance doing a little bit better in fuel during that autonomous time period, which means the Red will get our first dedicated hub period. 54-84 Wolfpack from Career Academy South Bend. Stuck a little bit under their trench, but hoping to pick up some of that fuel and launch into their hub. Each of those yellow spheres worth 1 point for their alliance while that hub is active. Blue Alliance, while their hub is deactivated, playing a little bit of Hungry Hippo, trying to pick up those game pieces that are available to them and score them into their hub now that it's become active themselves. We'll go back and forth between these two alliances, giving them each an opportunity to score points. Blue Alliance, of course, getting that opportunity right now for the next 12 remaining seconds of that time period. Blue Alliance continuing to apply that point pressure now, 130 above their opponent's 68. Red Alliance getting ready for their opportunity with Galactech already lined up toward that volley of fuel. Human players will get that fuel from going underneath the outpost, trying to get that opportunity for them to score themselves. Wolfpack now joining in on the fray, bringing that point total a little bit closer than it started at the beginning of that hub session. Blue Alliance lined up for their opportunity to score, waiting for their hub to become active, launching that fuel just a little bit early, such that by the time it passes those line break sensors at the bottom of the hub, that's when that point total counts. That spent fuel is returned to the neutral area between those two hubs. Blue Alliance continuing to apply that pressure, now nearly doubling the Red Alliance's 118. Don't discount the Red Alliance quite yet. We're entering that end game period, which will start with that steam whistle. Both of those hubs now reactivated as teams get a final scoring opportunity for this match. Blue Alliance, Cybertooth 3940 from Kokomo, continuing to apply that point pressure along with their partners, 447 Team Roboto from Anderson. Final 15 seconds of this match. Some teammates will consider climbing, but oftentimes it's more valuable to just keep storing that fuel. Many points available in that scoring opportunity. 54-84 potentially looking for that elevated climb, but not quite in their favor. Stick tight to see how those scores total up. And here are your scores for qualification match 30. Your winners are the Blue Alliance. Blue Alliance winning this match with a score of 291 to Red Alliance is 158. Blue Alliance getting 4 of those available ranking points. Both teams actually getting that Energized, that white sphere, which is for scoring more than 100 fuel during the match. Blue Alliance rising in the ranks with 3940 Cybertooth grabbing that 7th ranked position. Stick tight for qualification match 31 here in a few moments at the FIN District event in Washington, presented by Vincennes University Center for Applied Robotics and Automation in Toyota, Indiana. Let's meet our teams for this qualification match. Starting off here, it's Team 9790.
From Silver Creek High School in Sellersburg, Indiana, it's Crypto Creek 2.
Joining them on the center of the Red Alliance station, it's Team 6498.
With the robot, the king, it's Castle Robotics.
And wrapping up our teams on the Red Alliance, not too far from home, it's Team 8430.
With the robot shovel, it's the Hatch Batch.
Let's meet our teams now on the Blue Alliance, starting off with Team 868.
From Carmel High School in Carmel, Indiana, it's the Tech Hounds.
Joining them on the Blue Alliance is Team 8116.
Currently your second ranked team, it's Hatchet Robotics.
And wrapping up our friends playing in this match, levitating one of their friends off the ground, it's Team 9554.
From South Bend, Indiana, it's the Portage Pythons.
Dryers behind the line. This match begins in 3, 2, 1, rebuild.
As this match starts, we three bots in the center of the field. That's Hatchet, Tech Hounds, and Castle. Unfortunately, Tech Hounds get beached, and Hatchet does get a little stuck in their alliance bump. Castle Robotics does make it into their alliance though, and is able to unload their hopper, however. So we see a strong Red Alliance lead as we end the autonomous period. With that strong lead, we see that the Red Alliance will get the second shift, meaning they can gather some fuel in the meantime while the Blue Alliance begins to score. We have Team 868 using their agitator and turret to fire fuel quickly into their goal. On blue, we see Hatchet Robotics pushing fuel to their human players. The Blue Alliance has 12 more seconds to score. 868 using their turret to fire on the move, a few going a little bit too far, but they're making some shots in. The Blue Alliance has now made, it's only down by 5 points as it becomes the Red Alliance's shift. 868 using their turret launcher to fire fuel into their alliance zone while the Red Alliance hub is active. This will give them some more fuel scored later. Over on red, we have Castle trying to score into their goal. They're currently up by about 20 points, but they're experiencing some stiff defense from the Portage Pythons. On blue, Tech Hounds are continuing to score. Hatchet Robotics scoring a few in. Their intake may be damaged, however, but they do unload most of their hopper. With work from the Tech Hounds and Hatchet, the Blue Alliance has pulled ahead. They now lead by about 20 points. In about 5 seconds, we'll enter the final Red Alliance shift. Red Alliance will have 25 seconds to try and make that score up before the end game period, where teams can climb and continue to score in their hubs. We're now in our final Red Alliance shift. We see the Portage Pythons playing some stiff defense on Castle. We also see Hatchet playing defense on the Hatch Batch. Towns are heading back to their zone. They have 5 seconds before they can score, so they're going to sit tight and wait until it's their turn. And we are now in endgame. The Tech-Hounds are unloading their hopper once again. Over on red, we see Crypto Creek 2 getting ready for a climb with their pneumatic climber. We have human players on both sides throwing fuel in. The Blue Alliance, both alliances have made the Energized RP. We'll see if they can get any higher, as they're the last legs of this match. Your Blue Alliance is scoring with all 3 robots, unloading fuel in. They're about to cross 200 points in the last seconds of the match. And we have scores out shortly. Let's go ahead and see those scores. Your winner will be the Blue Alliance with a score of 208 to 118. The Blue Alliance will walk home with 4 ranking points, 3 for the win and 1 for scoring 100 fuel in the match. That moves the Hatchet Robotics to first, keeps seconds at 4th, and drops Castle Robotics to 2nd. We'll be back shortly with qualification match 32 here at the District Washington event, sponsored by Toyota Indiana and Vincennes University.
Let's meet what teams are playing in qualification match 32. Starting off here with our friends, it's 94-91.
From Silver Creek High School in Sellersburg, Indiana, it's Crypto Creek.
Joining them on the Red Alliance is Team 761.
With their robot Fracture, it's the Tech Pups.
And celebrating 20 years of Gears, it's Team 1720.
From Matthews, Indiana, it's the Fixed Gears.
Let's now meet our teams on the Blue Alliance. Start off with here, it's Team 1747.
From William Henry Harrison High School in West Lafayette, Indiana, it's Harrison Boiler Robotics.
Joining them on the Blue Alliance is Team 8742.
Currently ranked 6th, it's Argyle Attack.
And wrapping up our teams playing in this match is Team 7657.
With their robot Perseverance, it's the Thunderbots.
Drivers behind the line, this match begins in 3, 2, 1, rebuild.
We've got the Tech Pups taking the center of the field while the other bots unload their preloaded fuel. 761 has a full hopper and they're crossing back to their side. Tech Pups are unloading their hopper alongside Nomad from the Fixed Gears. They've taken their depot fuel and are loading that too. So this one going back for a second swipe as the autonomous period comes to an end. Scoring from the Fixed Gear from the Red Alliance means they have the lead going into teleop. They're the second shift, so they have some time to gather fuel during this Blue Alliance shift. Crypto Creek is stuck on some fuel. They'll be saved by their alliance partner. As the Blue Alliance shift is active, we have 2 Blue Alliance bots gathering some fuel, while one is overplaying some defense. Harrison Boiler Robotics and Argyle Attack scoring some fuel into their hub. Both these robots feature turreted launchers. That means they can fire from almost anywhere on the field, but they have a little lower throughput than drum launchers or fixed launchers. Over on red, there should have started, and we see 2 of our best drum launchers here at the competition, the Fixed Gears and Tech Pups, unloading their hoppers into the red hub. The Red Alliance has already scored 88 fuel with 1:30 on the match clock. They're about to take the energized RP. With under 1.5 minutes left, Red Alliance leads 125-29. Fixed Gears going for their 3rd cycle of this shift as the Blue Alliance hub is now active. This will be the Blue Alliance's last shift before endgame. We see Argyle Attack stuck on a bump, but they are freed by Crypto Creek. And a great act of aggressive specialism, an opponent has freed their opponent. We see 1747 and Argyle Attack getting ready to score for the Blue Alliance as the Blue Alliance shift ends. Over on red, 1720 and the Tech Pups were ready to start scoring. They've got 25 seconds left before endgame to score on their own. We see the Thunderbots playing some defense on the Tech Pups, trying to keep them pinned so they can't fire during this period. Likewise, we see 1747 playing some defense on the Fixed Gears. Both the Tech Pups and the Fixed Gears have drum launchers, which means they're very susceptible to defense, as a slight turn can make them miss the target. And there's whistle for endgame. We see 1720 unfortunately getting beached on some fuel. The Tech Pups quickly going to try and free them. And so are successful as we enter the last 20 seconds of this match. We see the Thunderbots feeding their human players plenty of fuel so they can make some shots from far. The Tech Pups and the Fixed Gears getting ready to score into their hub. Unfortunately, the Tech Pups do hit their alliance partner, the Fixed Gears, and cause them to miss a little bit as we're in the last couple seconds of this match. All right, party people, let's go ahead and see these scores. Your winner will be the Red Alliance. With a score of 225 to 95, the Red Alliance will take home 4 ranking points, 3 for the win and 1 for scoring more than 100 fuel as the Energized RP. That puts 1720 the Fixed Gears in 9th and the Tech Pups up to 7th.
Welcome to qualification match 33. Let's meet our teams. Starting off on the Red Alliance, we've got team 234.
With the robot Dinobite, it's Cyber Blue.
Joining them on the Red Alliance, it's team 2197.
From New Prairie High School, it's Las Pumas.
And wrapping up our friends on the Red Alliance is team 3559.
From Jasper High School in Jasper, Indiana, it's the Thundercats.
Ready now to meet our friends on the Blue Alliance. Starting with 10029.
From Portage High School in Portage, Indiana, it's the Prototypes.
Joining them, I would tell you about it, but it's classified. It's Team 5188.
With the robot Delta, it's Area 5188, classified robotics.
And wrapping up the teams we'll meet in this match, it's Team 9453.
From the Mount Vernon Senior High School, it's the Mount Vernon Wildcats.
Drivers behind the line, this match begins in 3, 2, 1, rebuild.
We've got Las Pumas taking the center alongside 234, and they're going back to their driver's position to try and score some extra fuel. 234 unfortunately gets stuck on their hub. 270 also getting stuck on the sidewall. This means that the scores are very close. A few shots by the Blue Lions team players might make the difference here. The Blue Lions coming out with a strong lead, 39-17, but only leading by 2 fuel. 234 garnering some fouls for gathering fuel directly out of their hub during autonomous. The red line shift is now active. We have 2 bots getting ready to score. Unfortunately, 234 is getting slightly beached on fuel, and their alliance partner, the Thundercats, is fully beached on fuel. Las Pumas getting ready to score in their goal. 234 with a full hopper getting ready to score in theirs as well, trying to make that gap up and score, and they already have taken the lead back, 47-37, as their first shift comes to an end. Over on blue, it's their turn, it's their time to shine. We have team 94-53 getting ready to pushing some fuel to their human players. Unfortunately, 51-88, it appears to not be moving, and their RSL is solid. We have the prototypes playing some defense on Las Pumas as 234 Cyber Blue throws fuel into their alliance zone for their next shift, which will begin here in a few seconds. It is now the red shift. We have Las Pumas and red human players firing fuel into their hub. 234 putting their hopper up and getting ready to score on their own. We have the prototypes playing some defense on 234. We have 2 blue line spots and 2 red line spots in the red zone right now. We also see 94-53 giving their human players more fuel to score when the blue line shift begins. Your scores are 73-52 in favor of your red alliance. Blue Lions human players putting a lot of the legwork into the Blue Alliance right now, putting a lot of fuel into the hub. Over on red, we have teams getting ready for endgame, which will be the final period of this game. Teams may now score for 30 seconds or climb. The higher they climb, the more points they will find, and they can get a wrecking point if they score 50 or more climb points. We see the Thundercats going across to gather some more fuel. 234 going for another cycle during endgame. Unfortunately, their launcher appears to be slightly jammed. The Red Alliance has just made the Energized RP with 5 seconds remaining. They scored 108 fuel this match. And a few more by 234 as the match comes to an end. Let's go ahead and see your scores. The winner will be the Red Alliance with a score of 111-65. The Red Alliance will take home 4 ranking points, 3 for the win and 1 for scoring more than 100 fuel in that match. That will keep 234 Cyber Blue as your 3rd ranked team.
Let's meet who will be playing in qualification match 37. Starting off with this team, it's 4485.
From the Danville Community High School in Danville, Indiana, it's Tribe Tech Robotics.
Joining them on the Red Alliance, it's Team 7198.
From Twin Lakes High School in Monticello, Indiana, it's the Fearsome Gears.
And wrapping up our teams on the Red Alliance, it's Team 8116.
Currently your number one ranked team, it's Hatchet Robotics.
Let's meet our teams now on the Blue Alliance. Starting with our team here, it's 7617.
From Carmel, Indiana, it's the Robo Blazers.
Joining them also from Carmel, it's Team 868.
Currently ranked fourth, it's the Tech Hounds.
And wrapping up our teams playing in this match, it's Team 5484.
From South Bend, Indiana, it's Wolfpack.
Drivers behind the line, this match begins in 3, 2, 1, rebuild.
We see three bots taking center of the field. That's 868. The Robo Blazers and Hatchet Robotics taking center of the field to gather some more fuel during the autonomous period. 868 is unloading their hopper into the blue, while 8116 Hatchet into the red. We see a very close lead in the autonomous period going towards your Blue Alliance by only 4 points. As we go into our control, that means that Red Alliance will get the first shift as Blue Alliance outscored them in autonomous. We see Trailblazers and 868 scoring some fuel into their hub during the transition period. They have 10 seconds before the Red Alliance shift, and they use it wisely by scoring some fuel. It is now the Red Alliance's turn, and we see 40-45 Tribe Tech taking some defense from the Robo Blazers. They're a tank bot this year, so getting turned, it's very easy for them. Well, see, Hatchet Robotics, they're using the trench as a support as they fire into their goal. Red Alliance was not able to take the lead during that shift, but they were able to lower it to 6 fuel. Now, 54-84 Wolfpack and ACC8 are determined to raise that score gap up higher before the Red Alliance's next turn to score. We have a Red Alliance bot that's Fearsome Gears beached, unfortunately, but they do get freed by their alliance partner. The Robo Blazers are launching fuel across the field to the Blue Alliance side to score for later. The Blue Alliance leads 92-60 as the Red Alliance begins scoring in their next shift. Both alliances are getting close to that energized ranking point for scoring 100 fuel. We see the Robo Blazers playing some stiff defense against Hatchet Robotics. The Red Alliance has 6 seconds left to score before the Blue Alliance will have the final shift before endgame. It is now the Blue Alliance's turn. We see that the Fearsome Gears are playing defense on the 868, but the 868 is equipped with a turreted launcher. That means it can change how it aims without the chassis moving. So defense against them is much tougher than it seems. We've got all 3 Blue Alliance bots scoring. They have passed 140 points with 30 seconds left on the clock. In a few moments, we'll be back into the end game period where all robots can score and climb some extra points. 868 scoring into their hub. All 3 red bots getting to score in theirs. We see some defense against Hatchet by 76-17, the Robo Blazers. They'd be careful around the red climb zone. If they contact with a red bot on their climbing area, they'll get heavily penalized. Over on blue, we have 54-84 Wolfpack and 868 scoring in the final 5 seconds. With a few shots from each alliance left as the match comes to a close. And without further ado, let's see our scores for qualification match 34. Your winner will be the Blue Alliance with a score of 182-101. Blue Alliance walks home with 4 ranking points, 3 for the win, 1 for the Energized RP. Red Alliance will not walk home empty-handed, though, as they get 1 for the Energized RP as well. That keeps 868 and 54-84 in their places, but moves Hatchet Robotics down to 3rd.
Let's see who will be joining us for qualification match 35. Starting off here, it's home team, it's 3480.
With the robot shovel, it's the Hatch Batch.
Joining them on the Red Alliance, celebrating 20 years of Gears, it's team 1720.
With the robot Nomad, it's the Fixed Gears.
And our final team on the Red Alliance, it's team 8742.
With the robot Orville, it's Argyle Attack.
Meeting now our friends on the Blue Alliance. Starting off here, it's 9491.
From Silver Creek High School in Sellersburg, Indiana, it's Crypto Creek.
Their sibling team and starting a fire together, it's team 9790.
Also coming from Silver Creek High School, it's Crypto Creek 2.
And our final team joining us in this match, it's team 3940.
From Northwestern High School and currently ranked 6th, it's Cybertooth.
Drivers behind the line, this match begins in 3, 2, 1, rebuild.
We've got 3940 taking the center of the field to gather some fuel during the autonomous period. Over on red, we see 1720 taking fuel from their outpost and scoring it into their goal as well. It's going to be a very close autom, but the Blue Lions might take the lead. 3940 going out for seconds. The first time wasn't enough for them. And as we go into tally up, the Blue Alliance will lead by 14 fuel. That means Red Alliance will have that first shift. We see 1720 going to the center to gather some fuel to try and fill their hopper before they go score. Blue Alliance scoring a few more fuel during the transition period, but now it is time for the Red Alliance to shine. We see 9491 sailing a sea of fuel. Unfortunately, they cannot get off, but they're being helped by their sister team, Crypto Creek 2. 1720 unloading their drum hopper into their goal. They're able to muster a massive throughput of fuel. Currently, the Red Alliance does lead, but the Blue Alliance shift has just begun. 3940 making quick work of putting a hopper into their goal and tying the score. 1720 that is gathering fuel and firing it into their zone, quickly storing fuel for later. We see Argyle Attack is unfortunately beached on fuel and stuck against their trench. 1720 going to score some fuel and trying to gather the fuel they stored earlier. Argyle Attack is now almost unstuck with the fuel right under their robot. We have Argyle Attack pushing fuel over their bump into their Alliance side. 1720 getting ready to score in their hub once again as the Alliance shift is about to end. Cybertooth is unloading their hopper once again into their hub as the Blue Alliance shift begins. They've just passed the threshold for the Energized RP, making 104 fuel with 45 seconds left on the match clock. Red Alliance needs to make 25 more for that RP. The Blue Alliance has 7 more seconds to score before the Red Alliance gets their turn during the endgame period. 3940 unloading another hopper into their goal. That's the whistle for endgame. All hubs are now active, and teams may climb for some extra points and a possible ranking point. The Hatchback taking some defense from Crypto Creek 2, trying to score a few more fuel and maybe make that ranking point. 1720 with a full hopper, sending it all up to their hub. Red Alliance has made the ranking point with 10 seconds left on the match. 3940 Cybertooth unloading their hopper once again. They've got 3 seconds left until this match is over. And we've got our scores. Let's see who's taking home the win for that last qualification match. It will be the Blue Alliance. Blue Alliance will get 4 ranking points for that win. 3 for the win and 1 for the Energized RP. Red Alliance will also be getting the Energized RP. That keeps 3940 at 6th and moves 1720, the fixed gears, down to 9th.
Let's meet our teams for playoffs match 36. Starting off here on the Green Alliance, it's Team 1747.
They're driving it like they stole it. It's Harrison Boiler Robotics.
On the center of the Green Alliance station, it's Team 9554.
From South Bend, Indiana, and the Portage School of Leaders, it's the Portage Pythons.
And wrapping up our teams on the Green Alliance, it's Team 4926.
Here to ignite, involve, and impact, it's Galactech.
We've now got 3 teams to meet on the Blue Alliance. Starting off with our teams here, it's 5188.
With their robot Delta, it's Area 5188, Classified Robotics.
Joining them on the center stage, it's Team 761.
From Carmel, Indiana, it's the Tech Pups.
And wrapping up the friends we'll see in this match, it's Team 447.
From Anderson, Indiana, it's Team Roboto.
Drivers behind the line. This match begins in 3, 2, 1. Rebuild.
We've got Team 426 and 761 taking the center to gather some fuel during the autonomous period. I'm being attacked by the tech pups as they fire some fuel into me. Over on red, we have Team 426 unloading their hopper rapidly into their goal with a hailstorm of fuel. The Red Alliance comes out with an extremely strong lead, 45-25 in favor of the Red Alliance. It means Blue Alliance will get the first shift. We see 426 Galactech going out for more fuel alongside Harrison Boiler Robotics. 426 is throwing the fuel back into their zone for their next shift. That way they'll have more fuel to score. Team 761 has unloaded their hopper already into their goal. They've tied the score up with 17 seconds left. Unfortunately, 761 has gotten beached on some fuel. They'll need to be saved by their alliance partner. We've got Team 426 getting ready for their next shift, which will begin in 3 seconds. They begin firing a stream of fuel from their hopper. The Red Alliance has taken back that lead. They've scored 70 out of 100 fuel. They score about 30 more for that ranking point. We see that 761, the Tech Pups, have finally gotten free. And they're getting ready to score in their next shift, which will begin here in a moment. Red Alliance has 3 seconds left, and then it will be the Blue Alliance's time to shine. Red Alliance has a score of 95 to Blue's 52 as the Blue Alliance begins their last shift before endgame. We see Team 4926 Galactech firing fuel into their zone from far. Harrison Boiler Robotics pushing fuel into the zone as well. The Tech Pups are encountering some stiff defense from the Portage Pythons. This will mean they'll struggle as they go towards the final red shift. Red Alliance leads by 13 points. Team 4926 Galactech and 7047 Harrison Boiler are determined to make that lead last. We have 1747 starting to throw fuel. Galactech going for another round as well. Your endgame period will begin here in a moment, and both hubs will become active. We see the Portage Pythons going to play some defense on 761. Unfortunately, they are stuck on the bump, but they are freed by their alliance partner. We have a small Red Alliance lead of about 30 points if we go into the endgame period. They have 15 seconds left. Both alliances have now scored over 100 fuel. Tech Pub are trying to make up the difference in the last couple seconds. Both Galactech and Harrison Boiler scoring, trying to get a little bit more fuel before this match ends. And we will have scores out shortly. Without further ado, let's go ahead and see those scores. And your winner is the Green Alliance with a score of 158 to 145. That puts Galactic up to 9th, Portage Pythons to 18th, and Harrison Boiler Robotics to 16th. Red Alliance takes home 4 ranking points.
And I think we're ready to meet our teams for our final qualification match of today. Starting off here, it's Team 10029.
Portage High School in Portage, Indiana, it's the Prototypes.
Joining them on the Red Alliance, it's 234.
With the Robot Dynamite, it's Cyber Blue.
And wrapping up our friends on this side of the field, it's Team 7657.
With the Robot Perseverance, it's the Thunderbots.
We're ready now to meet our friends on the Blue Alliance, starting off with 6498.
Currently your number 1 ranked team, it's Castle Robotics.
Joining them on the center of the Blue Alliance station, it's Team 4485.
From the Danville Community High School, it's Tribe Tech Robotics.
And wrapping up the teams we'll meet in this match and today, it's Team 9453.
From Mount Vernon Senior High School, it's the Mount Vernon Wildcats.
Drivers behind the line, this match begins in 3, 2, 1, rebuild.
We've got 3 bots taking the center. That's 6498 Castle Robotics and the Prototypes. Castle Robotics filling their hopper, quickly going back to their alliance zone to score some more fuel. Castle Robotics getting right up against their hub so they miss less. They've unloaded their entire hopper, giving the Blue Alliance a good lead going out of the autonomous period. The Blue Alliance will lead by 13 points as we exit the autonomous period. That means Red Alliance will get the first shift. The Castle Robotics trying to score a few more fuel in our cleanup period between phases. It's now the Red Alliance's turn. We have Team 234 Cyber Blue crossing across the field, a full hopper, using their triple launcher to score as much fuel as possible into their goal. They're out of fuel and they're looking for more. They're crossing the bump to gather some more fuel, and unfortunately they're getting slightly beached. They do manage to free themselves, though, and they can gather more fuel, but the Red Alliance shift is just about over. Over on blue, we have Argyle, we have Tri-Tech Robotics and Castle rapidly loading their hoppers into their goal. The Prototypes are playing some defense on Castle, trying to slow that scoring machine down. We see some incredible counter defense coming from 9453. They're trying to pin the Prototypes to the wall so they can't play defense on their scoring teammates. Over on blue, we see Team 234 Cyber Blue beginning to unload their hopper into their goal. Red Alliance is close on the heels of the Blue Alliance, 74-78. Cyber Blue has a lot of fuel to play with on their side of the field, and they're looking to put it all into their hub to gain a lead before the endgame period starts. We see some strong defense from 9453. They're trying to get 234 off target. But again, we see some counter defense from the Thunderbots. It's an interesting strategy used to keep defense bots away from your scoring robots. We're now in the final blue shift. Blue Alliance leads by 5 points. They've just made the Energize ranking point. Red Alliance is not far behind. They need about 5 fuel during endgame to get that ranking point. Tri-Tech has a full hopper. They're looking to put it into their goal, but they're taking some heavy defense from the Prototypes. And that's the whistle for endgame. Teams may now climb or continue to score in their hubs. Over on the Red Alliance, we see 234 unloading their hopper into their hub with the last couple seconds. We see the Thunderbots playing defense on Castle Robotics. Castle Robotics trying to stay close to their climb zone, trying to keep Thunderbots away from hitting them. Thunderbots being wary of defense, as if they hit Castle in their climb zone, they will be penalized for it. We have an incredibly close match. 234 has just taken the lead as we end the match. We had a 1-point difference in our alliances at the end of that match, so who's ready to see our scores? And your winner will be the Red Alliance! The last few scores by 234 coming in clutch and giving them the win. Red Alliance wins 143 to 134, taking home 4 ranking points. That puts Team 234 up into your first ranked position, moving Castle down to 4th.